guys, it's Shelly here. Welcome to my channel and thank you for joining me today. On today's video, I'll be sharing with you the pages I managed to complete for September 2023. There are not that many, probably half of what I managed to usually get done in a month, but I've not had that much coloring time. But what I have managed to complete, I really did enjoy. So yeah, I'm excited to share it with you guys. And I do have a few whips on the go as well. And I've been dipping into them, every now and then. So I have done coloring. It's just that I haven't managed to finish that many pages. But let's get started. So usually I start with my whips. So I'll show you my whips quickly and then I'll go ahead and show you my completed pages. So my first whip, I still haven't finished, and I don't think I worked on it in September actually. And there's not that much I want to do on this particular page, but yeah, hopefully I'll get it done soon now. This is Claire Therese Gray's Woodland Watercolor book. And this is the page that you may have seen last month as well. That I'd started working on, and I'd started working on it with watercolor paints. It is a watercolor book, so I wanted to play around with the watercolor paints, and I was reviewing a set of paints that was sent to me by Paul Rubens, and so I just dove into this page and went ahead and did it, and I really enjoyed it. It was quite relaxing actually, but to me this still looks incomplete. I think I need to try and put in a bit more depth, so I want to try and do it just with watercolor paints, but I have a feeling I'm going to use my pencils because, like I said, it looks a little bit incomplete for me, but we'll see. I just want to maybe a few things here and there, and then I'll call this page done. I'll keep it quite simple because since this paper is so nice for watercolor paints, I want to try as much as possible to either use just watercolor paints or to use my Albrecht Dürer pencils activated with water, but try not to go over the base with dry pencils as much as possible, but we'll see what I decide to do. But yeah, so I didn't do any work on this page, and all I've done so far is just use the paints. All right, and that's Woodland Watercolor by Claire Therese Gray. The next whip I have is, that was an uncolored book, by the way, guys. So that's the first page I'm working on. And then this is also an uncolored book. And this is Usiku. I think that's the artist. And the book is Year of Witches. And I think she has a few other books, actually. Another couple of books with the witches theme. And then maybe there's a pumpkin one or something like that. But perfect for this time of the year. But I had started this page and I was trying to play around with my Ohuhu alcohol markers. So just recently Ohuhu had sent me a set to review. I'll try and remember to put the link in the description box below of the video where I reviewed the markers. And then I was just inspired to try and play around with alcohol markers because I haven't used alcohol markers properly before. And it's a one-sided book. And so I decided I don't really like, the bleed through on paper. I know that's going to happen with alcohol markers, but it's something for me to get used to because I've never really worked with alcohol markers. But yeah, I basically put down a base of alcohol markers and then I'm trying to go over with pencils. And I think I've just used my Pablos here. I wanted to see how the Pablos feel, and they're really soft actually on this paper. So this book is available in Amazon UK, but I got it from Amazon Japan to try out the Amazon Japan quality Amazon paper. But I should have probably used because I know my Albrecht Dürers, I should probably try and use that so I can compare it to the Amazon UK paper. So the next page I do in this book, I'll try and use my Albrecht Dürers. But yeah, so that's all I've done so far, based with alcohol markers and just starting to put in my detailing with pencils using the Pablos. I don't really have a plan for this page. I just felt like coloring. I had a lot of moments in September where I didn't have much time, but I also didn't have much inspiration. I've had quite a bit of stress, like work, and then my parents were over as well. So I was dealing with, I think, quite a few things all at one go. And some things haven't, settled down yet. So I hope that I get motivated to color in October. But yeah, I think it was affecting my coloring in that I just felt like doing mindless coloring more than anything, and that's why I picked this page and just went in with markers. So yeah, not really got a plan for this page, so we'll see what what happens, how it turns out. But that's Year of Witches by Usiku, I think. Yeah, nice book actually. And I've tagged a few, but looking at the pace at which I color, I don't think I'll get more done, but it's perfect. It actually goes through the season, so you could do it all year long. But I really like the pages. I think this is this the autumn season? Like, that's really nice. I think there's a hashtag on Instagram for cauldrons, so that would be really nice. And maybe I could try and use this color scheme because it's very different to how I color. But yeah, I just don't know what to do with all the backgrounds. As I always say, I struggle with backgrounds. So yeah, there's a lot of you see, backgrounds to deal with, which I'm so confused about, which is why I chose this page, that I didn't really need to worry about a background. All right, I'll move on. All right, the next page again is an uncolored book. So the first page I'm working in, and it's Tomislav Tomic's Brooks Just-Pose. I love his art style. It takes me a while to color them, but I always enjoy it. And this is the page here. And you may have seen this recently, sorry, in the tag video I did for coloring memories tag videos. I was working on the leaves on this side, so now all the leaves are done. Basically, I've just based with, again, watercolor paints. So this was not in September, August. In August, I'd based it with watercolor paints, and then this month I've been starting to work with the pencils, and I use my Pablos again. And I really like how it's turning out. It's given quite a lot of depth to the page, so I really enjoy that. So yeah, I like how that's coming along. So hopefully I'll carry on with this, but I think for my dragon I may need to use my Arborec Duras, because I feel the Pablos are lacking it a little bit in the bold pink colors, pinks and reds. I don't think the pinks and reds in the Pablos are bold enough for me, so I may, for the dragon, use my Arborec Dura pencils. So we'll see. But love doing the leaves. Yeah, so that is Tomislav Tomic's Brooks Just-Pose, I think. Then this is a whip as well. So if you see, I have done a bit of coloring if you put it all together, but if I did it on one page or 2 pages, I'd get a few more completed pages. But there we go. This is Tatiana Bogema's Nice Little Town Valentine's Day, and I was working on this page. And yeah, I've still been working along. So I think the last time I showed it, so in my August completed pages, I think all I had done was possibly the trees and the bushes, and I'd added these pink sort of flower bushes, blossoms. And now this month when I've been working out, so I've been working on the grass, on the wood, on the tree trunk, and the little postman here. So yeah, I've been working on it slowly, but I have added to it, and there's not that much left. I just need to sit down and color. So yeah, I really like how it's looking at the moment, actually. Just don't like working on this paper. I struggle with the paper. So I'm using my Arborec Dura pencils activated with water and then coloring over top, because it takes ages to blend. So it's actually quite helpful to just use the water. And obviously it's very thin paper, everything is going through, even though it's pencil. But I use very little water, so it does work to use the Arborec Duras as a base. For the pink blossoms, I used the Artex paint markers to create that effect, and then I went over with the pencils to deepen it up. But yeah, really like how it's coming along. I just need to finish it. So that's Nice Little Town Valentine's Day by Tatiana Bogema. Okay, this is the last whip. Again, another uncolored book. So I was really inspired to just try and get into my uncolored books, obviously. This is the 4th one, and it's Maria Troller's Moon Valley. And I gravitate towards her older books a little bit more because I love her large, big flowers in them. And I feel like the illustrations are getting a little bit tinier. Like, look at all those tiny, tiny flowers and leaves. And so yeah, I do gravitate towards her other books more, but generally I haven't been coloring in her books that much. But I got inspired and I thought, okay, I have to color this page. It's quite a simple page. So I'm going to try and crack into this book this month with this, well, this month meaning October, with this page here, just to get myself started in this book. And yeah, all I've done is the background, and I've used my Albrecht Dürer pencils activated with water for the background. I just find a bit more control with my Albrecht Dürer pencils, and because they're pencils, I can get into all the, you know, nooks and crannies easily with a sharp point, which is a bit harder with, you know, the Neocolor IIs, for example, crayons, or for me with watercolor paint, because I don't have that skill yet with watercolor paints. I know you can use really tiny brushes, but I'm still working on those skills. So for me, my Albrecht Dürers are always my go-to, but that's all I've done so far. I like it. I like the color, but I haven't decided what I want to do with the rest of it. All right, so that's Moon Valley by Maria Trolle. Okay, that's all the whips done. So I did get some coloring done. Now my completed pages. So this is Rita Bearman's Europa book. I am so excited about the Africa book. I know a lot of people have already received their copies, and I am refusing to look at any flip throughs because, yeah, I want it to be a surprise. I just can't wait to get her book. Anyways, this is a page I did in the Europe book, and there's a full color along on the channel for this particular page. I absolutely loved doing this page, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching the color along. I know not everyone watches color alongs, but hopefully you enjoyed it. I used Albrecht Dürer pencils pretty much for everything. I think the only thing I didn't use, the only additional thing I used was I based the pavement with one color of Tombow Dual brush pen just to put down a base, and then I went over with the pencils dry. But then for pretty much everything else, I think I just used my Albrecht Dürer pencils. I activated them with water. I played around with different combinations for all these packages, which I love. And then I went over with the pencils dry. I love how my letterbox has turned out. And I love that I used the turquoise for the background because, yeah, I like bright colors. And so I think it's sort of a little bit of me in there with all the autumn colors. And then I used the Pentel Hybrid Dual Metallic in gold, as you can possibly see all that glitter. And what else? I used 2 Art paint pens. If I forget anything, you can obviously refer to the color along video. I'll try and remember to post it below. But I just love how it's turned out, and I'm feeling, because I'm in that sort of mood where I need easy coloring at the moment because of things that are going on at the moment for me. I was thinking I might want to color this page as well because it'll be an easy page for me to go to, and I'm just going to translate the colors, exactly the same colors onto this so that it's an easy page for me to tackle, and it will be more or less mindless coloring because of that. So yeah, I'm thinking hopefully for this month, I might do a little bit of that so that I just, yeah, do a bit of mindless coloring. But love it. I love how it turned out. All right, that's Rita Bearman's Europa book. That was the first completed page. Then this is my second one. And this is a Japanese illustrator book. It's Secret Invitation. And it was an uncolored book. And I've done one page in it now, which is brilliant. I started this page back in June, guys. But I think, yeah, I don't know why I was finding it hard to get back to it. So we'd gone away for just a few days. Well, a few days meaning 2 nights or 3 nights, just within here in the UK. We went to the Lake District and I took this book with me thinking, oh, there are large elements on it. It'll be easy for me to tackle this book. And so that's why I chose this book. And I just took this one book with me. And I started it in June, and all I had got done while we were away was the tree trunk and these leaves at the top, and I think the grass. And then from June till now, it took me a while to actually finish it. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun coloring in this book. The Albrecht Dürers work lovely on this paper. When you activate it with water, it blends really nicely. And then you just have to do a little bit of shading over top to deepen it up if you want. I didn't know what to do with the background. I used watercolor paints for that. Again, just playing around with my watercolor paints. I didn't do any of that closer to the end of the month, but so yeah. But yeah, I used watercolor paints, and yeah, that's it. And then Tuli Art paint pens to finish off the page. But other than that, I've used just my Art Dura pencils as always, and there's a little bit of Pentel Hybrid Duo Metallic in gold. I think those are my favorite glitter gel pens. It's just, they don't have that many colors, so all I have at the moment is the gold and the silver, but they work so beautifully. It gives so much sparkle. Yeah, but yeah, I like how it turned out, my first page. I'm excited for the rest of the book, actually. They're busy pages, so it'll still take me a while to actually finish one simple page just like that one. So that was Secret Invitation. Then my next completed page is actually quite a quick one. This one is in Julia Spiri's An Enchanting World, which she had sent me for reviewing. And the page I did was just this one here. And I did it as a speed color, I think, on the channel when I was reviewing the Ohuhu markers. That's why I chose this book, because I've never used alcohol markers, and I just decided, okay, I'm going to try it out. And this looked like a simple enough page for me to just play around on. And so literally I just used the alcohol markers, Ohuhu alcohol markers, and yeah, no pencil over the top. So literally that's it. And a little bit of my Pentel Hybrid Dual Metallic in silver this time, and that's it. It's a very simple page, but it was nice mindless colouring. Yeah, so that's Julia Spiri's An Enchanting World. And then I did a page in Teresa Goodridge's Autumn Charm, and I hope to get at least one more done, because last year I only did one in this book. And the page I did was this one, and I absolutely enjoyed it. So I've been colouring this page while my parents were here in September, and I just took my sweet time with it. Literally every day, maybe a little bit of colouring, and I love how it has turned out. I'm so happy with it. So I just used my Art Dura pencils pretty much for everything, activated with water, and then went over the top with the pencils dry. The only thing I did do different, because I got the alcohol markers, I wanted to try them out on this paper. I think I want to try it out on any of my one-sided books, you know, even if it's in a little portion, just to see how it works and to learn to use them. But I used it for the pavement here, and then I went over with my Art Dura pencils. So I just literally just a quick base of one color, so it's not really playing around with them, but yeah. And then I went over with my Art Dura pencils dry. I used a lot of Tuli Art paint pens, a lot of white paint pen. I tried in the water to try and do reflections of the trees, and hopefully it shows. So I was finding it a bit hard, but yeah, I think it sort of works, especially in this area. It sort of gives those hints of the orange of the trees reflecting off the water. And here as well, I tried to do the reflection of the bridge under the on the water. So yeah, I really enjoyed trying to do that aspect, and I love how the red coat turned out, and I want a red coat now. Sorry, for winter, so I'm going to try and keep a lookout for it. But yeah, I really enjoyed colouring this page. The only other page I've done, which I do have a full colour along in case you want it, because it's the season, on the channel. I'll try and remember to just put it in the description box below, but this is the only other page I've done in this book. And there is a full colour along on the channel for that. But this is my other page in this book, and there are so many beautiful pages in this book. I don't have her newest one, Autumn Harvest. I really do like it. I don't think it's available in Amazon UK yet, or it should be, but I don't know. Amazon UK is just like, there's certain books that take ages to be available on there, so I haven't yet got it. But maybe that's a good thing, because otherwise I wouldn't have coloured another page in this book. So maybe I should get a few more done before I get that book. So that was Teresa Goodridge's Autumn Charm. Really enjoyed colouring that page. and love how it turned out. And we're on our last completed page. Told you there wasn't that much. And this is, again, an uncolored book. My first one completed. By the book is by Stratton Peterson, and it's Nature's Magic. I don't have her first book. I think she may has one other book. This one is Nature's Magic. What was the other one? Mythic Animals or something, but basically it's on animals. But yeah, I got a pre-release copy from Loam Art for this, and I colored this page. And again, I absolutely enjoyed coloring this page, and it actually didn't take me that long, despite there being so many leaves and so many berries to color, because I was and so many flowers to color. Because I was really enjoying coloring this page, it did not feel like I had like it was repetitive, or you know, I didn't get bored coloring it, basically. But yeah, I absolutely loved coloring this page. So I used my Arbitrary pencils, activated with water, and then went over the pencils dry. Now, someone had mentioned in a comment when I did a flip through of this book that they felt the paper was a little bit funny and they couldn't work on it well. So that's why I got inspired to try it out and check that I am happy with the paper. And yeah, my Arbitraries, as you can tell, looked wonderful, worked wonderful, and turned out quite vibrant. And so yeah, I think it worked really well, and there's not that much warping, but like I say, usually I don't use that much water when I activate the pencils. I just remembered, I think I do have a how I color video on the berries. I remember coloring some of the berries somewhere here. So yeah, I do have a how I color video and how I did the berries. I will try and link it in the description box below in case you're interested. I left the moon till the end because I didn't know what color I was going to do it. Because I'd chosen white flowers. At first I thought I was going to do, you know, like a grayish moon, but I knew that the flowers would disappear. I still feel like the flowers are disappearing a little bit in that area, but basically I couldn't do a gray moon. And then I didn't want to add yellow to my page because I'd left this till the end because I wasn't sure about it. So I wanted to put down all of the rest of my colors before I did it. And then I decided to just try and pull in like the purples and the red violets to sort of combine it with the berries. And I love how the moon looks because that's very difficult for me to do, to think outside the box. Like for me, the moon is either like white, so I would use gray tones or gray colors to do a white moon, or I would do it like yellow, and sometimes I've done it like turquoise. But other than those three colors, I've not been very experimental, and so yeah, it was a little bit of thinking outside the box for me, and I love how it turned out. I think it worked really well. And then other than that, I kept it all simple. I didn't use I used a white paint pen to just cover up the black lines for the white flowers to emphasize the effect that they're white flowers. And a little bit of Pentel Hybrid Dual Metallic in gold again for like the center of the white flowers. And that's it. A lot of white paint pen. Yeah. What do you guys think? I really enjoyed it. But yeah, so I really enjoyed this page, and I hope I can come around to coloring this book again very soon. But yeah, I think my favorite pages, both from the aspect of enjoying coloring that particular page and the outcome as well, will more than likely be this one, and I think this one. Where is it going now? Yeah, these two pages I just really enjoyed coloring. But yeah, you guys can tell me what you guys think, which page you think is the best. I think I even like my Rita Berman one. So yeah, it's a bit of a tough one. But I think I really loved the end result and the process of coloring these pages. But yeah, you guys can let me know which ones you think is the favorite for this month. So not that many pages, but hopefully you still enjoyed watching my completed pages, and I hope I will get to do more in October if things settle down for me. But otherwise, I'll be working on my coloring slowly as I go along. But yeah, hopefully you guys had a wonderful coloring month as well, and I'll be back with you guys soon with another video. So until then, take care. Thanks. thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.